now here we are talking about Levi. And at some point in time, he took to liking rap. And it was a bit of a shift for me because I always thought it was, kind of out there.
Yeah, we didn't really like it at
first. A little
first.
foul at times. Yeah. But then when I listened to some of the words, I thought, well, these are real life experiences of people that just live in rough circumstances. And then when Levi started to write and he showed me some of the stuff that he liked, some of the, people that he aspired to, I guess, sound like, then I started to actually look at the lyrics. Because when I hear rap, I can't keep up with it. My mind doesn't work quick enough to interpret it all. And when I saw this, I was thinking, this is just poetry to the rhythm.
I'll bring it to a darker place here for a second. Yeah. Look. Okay, my family die more often. Scared to death, see my older brothers in coffins. Maybe I'll go first when coughing up blood. Mine shot from shots tearing my brain cells up when death is the closest rush. You learn it when the wrists are cut. Mine never were, but I can see the impulse to feel something real for once. Hate myself in every single fashion, but love myself in she undressing. I hide in the passion and laugh when people say they're depressed. Till I leave a note with a bullet hole in my head on the desk, and shit's real lately. I see my grandfather sitting on top of heaven's staircase, blowing smoke like an overcooked rotisserie. Leave it, why you gotta be this way? And shit, you got it pretty good. Shit, you got a lot of wood. I ain't never seen a tall, pretty bastard so shook. And that's there will always be someone more baller, better looking, jaw dropping, better or what? Never reluctant to jump in, oh yo, girl. To you, the guy's me. To me, it's someone else. And that's the problem.
I think it's more country here, though. As far as a wide range, I think it depends on the parents. See, I grew up with country. I can't stand country music, except the old stuff. If it's Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton, I like it. But the new stuff, and that's why with Levi stuff, it's a hard sell. Because around here, people aren't really into rap music.
I'd say a lot of the stuff that both of us did influenced each other. Because there wasn't a whole lot of people to look up to, so we kind of just tried to do our own thing from day one. Just staying true and really not pretending. Just because our other friends, they listen to country music, they listen to rock, whatever their parents listen to, wasn't going to stop us from enjoying what we like.
Yeah, my parents hated rap music. They hated hip-hop music, and, even... I don't think Adam, even my brother Adam, didn't like hip-hop music for the longest time. But then, so for that reason, one time he came over and I had, a vinyl of, Good Kid, Mad City. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's just whatever. He's like, no, man, vinyl and hip-hop, that's sweet. And I was like, oh, okay, so people do think it's cool around where I live. Anyways, yeah, so since they didn't listen to it, I think I stumbled in on it, my sister's iPod or something.
I know that the music makes him happy because he just radiates when he comes up with something new. And of course his room is right next to ours, so throughout the last couple of years it's what do you think of this beat and what do you think of that beat? Yeah. And come here, and we'd sit there on the couch and we'd listen to it.
But instead I looked around and had some people around me that were looking down. And when I fucked up, it ain't okay. No, you grounded for a week. No Xbox or TV. Think about the type of man you want to be. A good job, contribute to society. When you get a girl, you better know she a priority. Yeah. And that's the shit we missing these days. But when I'm with my homies and that shit is all okay.
What's funny is there isn't a whole lot of just music being made in this particular area. It seems like most of it's coming out of Fredericton right now and St. John, but where we live in a very secluded town, I grew up thinking that it was impossible, that you don't really do that type of thing, and I saw making movies as only something that could happen in Hollywood, and making music definitely did not happen here. So then when I realized no, you can make this stuff for pretty cheap, it's just why am I not doing that?
The story your dad was sharing about doing the cover for your record, I think that's amazing.
Right outside here, just out in the lawn with his hoodie on, and we took several shots there, and then we came up with the idea of if we've got the front of you, why don't we take the back of you? And so Levi goes, well, how are we going to get all the title tracks on there? And I said, you know what? Why don't you, since his album was called Nude Beach, I said, we'll keep you dressed from the waist down, but the top, just take your shirt off, and I'll get a marker and I'll write all the title tracks on your back.
Yeah, so we did that.
And then we went outside and we took a whole bunch of pictures, and it looked stupid because you had all the trees in the back. And normally, you know, you just have like some sort of a plain background. So I said, why don't you, so I took my coat off and threw it in the snow, and I said, why don't you kneel down in the snow and then just stand like this, or, you know, put your arms up or like this. And I took like at least 20 shots of them, and then eventually we filtered through all of them, and one of them worked out perfect, where the lighting was good, the writing was clear, so that not half the word was sort of wrinkled between your shoulder blade and whatever. And yeah, that was the front and the back of the album. So we shot that almost in one evening.
There will always be someone more ballin', better looking, jaw dropping, better at what, never reluctant to jumping on yo girl. To you the guys, me, to me is someone else. Hey, and that's the only real problem with all this is. To you the guys, me, to me is someone else. And that's the only real problem with all this is. To you the guys, me, to me is someone else. And that's the only real problem with the shit is. The only real problem with the shit is. The only real problem with the shit is. To you the guys, me, to me is someone else. Life a race. Some get tired of running when the pretty at the front. We get tired of fronting. I've been in the middle, feeling like the miles are coming. No one knows in the last, don't vibe with a runner. I'll be doing fine, and we dipping the medicine. Thinking positive like the test of an accident. But the best dressed doing all of the benefits. So while it's looking slim, like the models ahead of us. Like, what's the point when every week ends in repentance? Man, every weekday ends in a new sin. Found myself in a car, but no one to roll me over. I'm tearing up barfing, now that's a dark end. But what's the alternative? Working 9 to 5, lighting the fuse on my wits end. I'm a mess, man, it's lonely in my head. That's the only place that I live. I think a therapist best. I think my life is a quest in the darkness. See what Cuddy started and realize Billboard Top 100 doesn't play real shit. Realize it, man. They only play the hits.
I don't see why you wouldn't go for what you want.
But the least you'll do is put your own mark. Because at least you're doing something. You're not someone that just has all this stuff on the side and never actually releases it.
Yeah,
like you're actually sharing something to the world that will always be out there. And it's something that only you can do.
When you say do it yourself, to some extent it means like making the artwork yourself and the music, but there is still like, there's like your home base, fan base kind of. And so like every time, like even since I was young, like I could always show him my music or my verses or whatever, and he'd be like, oh, okay, like that's cool. Or he'd be like, I don't know, I wouldn't really listen to that. And just like having people around me that were supportive made it that much easier to go out and be like, okay, I can create something. You know, if I went home and was like, hey dad, like check this out, and if he was like, I don't care, like I probably wouldn't be making music, because then if your parents didn't care or your family didn't care, then it seems like nobody does. So I was really fortunate in having just like a home and a group of people that made me want to do it myself and didn't make it seem like you need like all this money to do it, because I see that people are interested without the money.
Even though we are family, I still try to stay unbiased.
Yeah.
Because someone has to.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's all these people, like, regardless whatever happens, we're always going to be family, but we're always going to be best friends. And, like, people are going to come and go. There's going to be friends that you meet along the way, but you never know if they're 100% true and if they'll always have your back. At least Levi knows I'm going to give some honest feedback. And that makes a hell of a difference when it comes to the creative process. Because anyone could listen to a song, and if they're worried about what Levi's going to say in response, if they give a negative comment, they're not going to give it. They're not going to say what needs to be said.
It's good too, because he's a hip-hop fan as well. So it doesn't come from like a rock perspective or like another perspective. Like he's been listening to hip-hop as long as I have, and we kind of grew up listening to it together. So it was easy for me when he says like, no, I like that. And since we listened to like the same music because we were always around each other, it made it easy for me to go like, okay, then that's probably, it's okay, then it's good. But like where I do like respect everybody's opinions when it comes to their like taste in music, if it comes from somebody who doesn't really listen to the type of music that I'm making, then it's difficult to take what they think into consideration.
If anything, I want my kids sort of to take the middle road. I don't want them to fall down. I don't want them to fall up. I want them to work at things and then have the pride of saying, I've done this. You know, not like a pride like, ooh, look at me, but a pride, sort of an inner thing that pride gives you a sort of, it's a humble pride. Something that gives you the stability of saying, I can do this, I can take this on, without saying like, hoorah, look at me. You know, I like my kids to be modest, but I like them to be successful. But it's more of in an inner way rather than an outer way, you know. All the money in the world is not going to keep you alive. Lots of people have seen that.
Yeah, and there will always be someone more violent, better looking, jaw but better a fucking never reluctant to jumping on yo girl. To you the Godspeed, to me it's someone else. That's the problem. There will always be someone more violent, better looking, jaw but better a fucking never reluctant to jumping on yo girl. To you the Godspeed, to me it's someone else. And that's the only real problem with the shit is. To you the Godspeed, yeah, yeah. And that's the only real problem with the shit is. To you the Godspeed, to me it's someone else. And that's the only real problem with the shit is. The only real problem with the shit is. The only real problem with the shit is. To you the Godspeed, to me it's someone else. It's like, people always ask me like, why are you complaining? Why are you rapping like this? Fucking all sad, depressing shit. It's like, it's not that I'm not grateful for things. I understand like where I'm at, but it's like sometimes when you turn the lights on inside, it's dark. And that's it.
I just love how true it is. Like, there's not one song on his latest album, New Beach, that didn't strike a chord with me. Like, all the stuff, like, it hits me deep and personally. Even though it's something that he went through, it's stuff that I can easily relate to. Just because to some degree we have had a similar life, similar upbringing. And it's really influential and inspires me, definitely.
So if that makes him happy in life, and you know, that's all you want as a parent. You want your kids to be happy. Same with Adam, Gina, Liam, and Levi, our youngest.
When I saw what Levi was writing, I was thinking like, wow, he's actually doing the things that I've always done, and he's pouring his heart, whether it's good times or bad times, out in lyrics. And I thought that was fantastic. And so the one that we really couldn't get behind the keyboard is now rapping his heart out, and I think it's great.